industrial giant, to get government back within its means, and to lighten our punitive tax burden. And these will be our first priorities, and on these principles there will be no compromise.
I can hear you! I can hear you! The rest of the world hears you! And the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
Never give in. Never, never, never. In nothing, great or small, large or petty, never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense. Never yield to force. Never yield to the apparently overwhelming might of the enemy.
But I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
We declare our right on this earth to be a man, to be a human being, to be respected as a human being, to be given the rights of a human being in this society, on this earth, in this day, which we intend to bring into existence by any means necessary.
Apostle Claver T. Kamau-Imani on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Hey, what's up, Saints and Patriots? Apostle Claver T. Kamau-Imani, RagingElePhantsRadio.com, the rebellious voice of Texas Liberty. It's Friday. It's a thank you, Jesus. It's Friday. And it's a program stacked like pancakes. Got to get right to it. Luke Bowen heads up the pack for Texas Right to Life. He's going to be by to talk about his observations of the 2018 midterm and what we should be looking forward to, good or bad, for the 2019 legislative session. And then our Friday regulars who are on fire and raring to go. Angela, the box that rocks, and Tina, Moody Bryan, the hot ticket. Both of them are Raging Elephants Radio contributors. Tina is our RER contributor for pop culture. Angela is just your basic cut up. Sorry guys, I had to deal with an unexpected emergency. Didn't know this was going to happen. Didn't anticipate it happening. I'm going to have to play a little something for you. In the meantime, one of your favorites. Here's the president. President Reagan, that is. I'll be right back.
Mr. President, in talking about the continuing recession tonight, you have blamed mistakes of the past, and you have blamed the Congress. Does any of the blame belong to you?
Yes, because for many years I was a Democrat. I've been told that this is all off the record and that the cameras are all off. Is that right? I was told that because I've been waiting years to do this. I have to interrupt right here and tell you that in one of my visits, I won't name him, I don't want to embarrass him, but one of the heads of state that I met with on this visit, he gave me one while I was on the way. Told me the story about the two fellows in the Soviet Union that were walking down the street, and the one of them says, "Have we really achieved full communism? Is this it? Is this now full communism?" And the other one said, "Oh, hell no, things are going to get a lot worse." He said that Castro was making a speech to a large assembly, and he was going on at great length, and then a voice out in the crowd said, "Peanuts, popcorn, Cracker Jack." And he went on speaking, and again the voice said, "Peanuts, popcorn, Cracker Jack." And about the fourth time this happened, he stopped in his regular speech, and he said, the next time he says that, he says, "I'm going to find out who he is and kick him all the way to Miami." And everybody in the crowd said, "Peanuts, popcorn, Cracker Jack." The Soviet Union, who went out to one of those state collective farms, grabbed the first worker he came to, said, "How are the crops?" "Oh," he said, "the crops never been better, just wonderful." He said, "How about potatoes?" "Oh," he said, "Comrade Commissar, if we could put the potatoes in one pile, they would reach the foot of God." And the commissar said, "This is the Soviet Union. There is no God." He said, "That's all right. There are no potatoes." Favorite quotations about age comes from Thomas Jefferson. He said that we should never judge a president by his age, only by his work. And ever since he told me that, I've stopped worrying. Just to show you how youthful I am, I intend to campaign in all 13 states. President Washington began this tradition in 1790 after reminding the nation that the destiny of self-government and the preservation of the sacred fire of liberty is finally staked on the experiment entrusted to the hands of the American people. For our friends in the press who place a high premium on accuracy, let me say, I did not actually hear George Washington say that. We will not make age an issue of this campaign. I am not going to exploit, for political purposes, my opponent's youth and inexperience. And a Russian arguing about their two countries, and the American said, "Look, in my country I can walk into the Oval Office, I can pound the president's desk and say, 'Mr. President, I don't like the way you're running our country.'" And the Russian said, "I can do that." The American said, "You can?" He says, "Yes. I can go into the Kremlin to the General Secretary's office, pound his desk and say, 'Mr. General Secretary, I don't like the way President Reagan's running his country.'" An American dog and a Polish dog and a Russian dog, they were all having a visit, and the American dog was telling them about how things were in this country. He said, "You know, you bark and you bark long enough, and then somebody comes along and gives you some meat." And the Polish dog said, "What's meat?" The Russian dog says, "What's bark?" The story of a fellow who was running for office as a Republican, and he was in a rural area and it wasn't known to be Republican, and he stopped by a farm to do some campaigning, and when the farmer heard he was a Republican, his jaw dropped and he said, "Wait right here till I go get Ma. She's never seen a Republican before." So he got her, and the candidate looked around for a podium from which to give his speech, and the only thing he could find was a pile of that stuff that Bess Truman took 35 years trying to get Harry to call fertilizer. So he got up on the mound, and when they came back, he gave his speech. And at the end of it, the farmer said, "That's the first time I ever heard a Republican speech." And the candidate said, "That's the first time I've ever given a Republican speech from a Democratic platform." Things about having you here is that I get to tell a farm joke. Now, first I need a setting, but Rick, you're from Kansas, right?
You bet.
Okay, this takes place in Kansas. There was an old Kansas farmer there. He had a piece of creek bottom land that had never been developed at all. It was all rocks and brush and all messed up, and he started in on it, clearing it, the underbrush, and hauling away the rocks, then cultivating the soil there, and he planted a garden, everything from vegetables on to corn, and it really became a garden spot, and he was pretty proud of what he'd done. So one Sunday morning in church after the service, he asked the preacher if he wouldn't stop by to have a look. Well, the preacher arrived, and he took one look, and he said, "Oh, this is wonderful." He said, "These are the biggest tomatoes I've ever seen. Praise the Lord." He said, "Those green beans, that squash, those melons," he said, "the Lord really has blessed this place. And look at the height of that corn." He said, "The God has really been good." And the old boy was listening to all this, and he was getting more and more fidgety, and finally he blurted out, "Reverend, I wish you could have seen it when the Lord was doing it by himself." The lawyer said to him, "While you were lying there at the scene of the accident, didn't someone come up to you and ask you how you were feeling, and didn't you answer that you never felt better in your life?" Well, he said, yes, I guess I remember that happening. Well, later on redirect, another lawyer was asking the question, and he said, "What were the circumstances when you gave that answer as to how you felt?" Well, he said, I was lying there, and he said a car came up and a deputy sheriff got out. He said my horse was neighing with pain and kicking. He had 2 broken legs. The deputy sheriff put the gun in his ear and put the horse out of his misery. He said my dog had a broken back and was whining with pain, and he went over, did the same thing, put there and shot him. And then he came over to me and said, now, how are you feeling? Just down at the entrance of his building, there was an elderly lady selling pretzels, and every day he'd go by and he'd put a quarter down and never take a pretzel. Go on in. He was being very charitable, and this went on for some time. And he came along one day, put down his quarter, started, and she took him by the arm. And he looked at her and he said, oh, you probably want to know why for this full year I've been leaving 25 cents on the plate and not taking a pretzel. And she said, no, I just wanted to tell you that pretzels are 35 cents now. And grabbed a limb sticking out the side of the cliff and looked down 300 feet to the canyon floor below, and then looked up and said, Lord, if there's anyone up there, give me faith. Tell me what to do. And a voice from the heavens said, if you have faith, let go. He looked down at the canyon floor and then took another look up and says, is there anyone else up there? The importance of communication and how much a part it plays in what you and I, what all of us are trying to do. And one day, a former place kicker with the Los Angeles Rams, who later became a sports announcer, Danny Villanueva, told me about communications. He said he'd been having dinner over at the home of a young ball player with the Dodgers. The young wife was bustling about getting the dinner ready. They were talking sports, and the baby started to cry. And over her shoulder, his busy wife said to the ball player, change the baby. And he was a young fella, and he was embarrassed in front of Danny, and he said, what do you mean, change the baby? I'm a ball player. That's not my line of work. And she turned around, put her hands on her hips, and she communicated. She said, look, Buster, you lay the diaper out like a diamond. You put second base on home plate. You put the baby's bottom on the pitcher's mound. You hook up first and third, slide home underneath, and if it starts to rain, the game ain't called. You start all over. I thought you might like to say a few nice words to them. They're all from the press and radio and television. Maybe just a friendly little greeting would do. How about just a word or two, something friendly, even one kind word?
I'm thinking.
On the back road, on his way to look at some property, and suddenly noticed down beside him was a chicken keeping pace with him, and he was doing 60 miles an hour. And suddenly the chicken spurted out ahead of him, and it looked to him as if the chicken had 3 legs. And then it turned and went down a sign road and into a barnyard, and the driver turned down that lane, drove into the barnyard. There was a farmer there, and he asked him, he said, did you see a chicken go by here? And the farmer said, yep. He says, did it have 3 legs? And the farmer says, yep. I raise them that way. I breed them. He says, you do? He said, how come? Well, he said, I just love the drumstick, and Ma always liked the drumstick, and now Junior's come along, and he likes it, and we just got tired of fighting over it. So I've been breeding 3-legged chickens. And the driver said, well, how do they taste? He says, I don't know. I haven't been able to catch one yet. This fellow they've nominated claims he's the new Thomas Jefferson. Well, let me tell you something. I knew Thomas Jefferson. He was a friend of mine. And Governor, you're no Thomas Jefferson. As soon as I get home to California, I plan to lean back, kick up my feet, and take a long nap. Now, come to think of it, things won't be all that different after all.
Get to the emergency room for a treatable illness like asthma. They end up taking up a hospital bed. It costs you gave them treatment early, and they got some treatment and a breathalyzer or an inhalator. Not a breathalyzer. What they'll say is, well, it costs too much money. But you know what? It would cost about the same as what we would spend over the course of 10 years. It would cost what it would cost us. All right. Okay. We're going to. It would cost us about the same as it would cost for about, hold on one second, I can't hear myself. But I'm glad you're fired up, though. I'm glad.
Oh, shut up.
Sometimes it's unavoidable, Saints and Patriots. Emergencies come up, especially when you're right about to go on the air. And only one person can take care of it. That would be the person behind the microphone. That would be yours truly. Thanks for your patience. I hope you enjoy that Ronald Reagan. I got a little bit of some of the last bits of it. Butch has disappeared on me. Butch, get out of there. Butch, get away from there. Supposed to be my co-host, my sidekick. Get over here in the studio and chill out. Say hello to everybody, Butch. Here he is. You can see him. RER Video YouTube. Look at that face. Look at that beautiful Doberman face. Isn't he a cutie pie? He's 1 year old now. All right, go to RagingElePhantsRadio.com if you want to see the beautiful face of Butch. Right column, scroll down. You'll see the Live Now bug. Just click on it. What's up, Saints and Patriots? I'm Apostle Claver, a proud Texas nationalist, and I'm here to tell you about Texit. For 25 years, Daniel Miller has been working to see the rebirth of the Republic of Texas. His work has been hard, but his passion is deep. For many Texans, there is a deep yearning, a burning to see the prophecy of Sam Houston come true. But the desire of their hearts comes with many questions. Texit has the answer. It's the new book from Daniel Miller and Defiance Press. Texit, why and how Texas will leave the Union. Texit charts the path to Texas independence. This riveting book of facts and philosophy will soothe your anxiety about the coming change and build your confidence that Texans can get it done. You'll want to buy several copies for your family and friends. Like I've said about this governmental mess, the only way out is out. And the best part of Texit, I'm in it. Texit, why and how Texas will leave the Union. It's selling like hotcakes. Buy it on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
RER Cross is the Christian programming of RagingElePhantsRadio.com. Pastor Stephen Broden is a featured Bible teacher.
What runs interference with God's instructive word are Satan, the world, and the flesh. Out of these three comes doubt, fear, and unbelief. Doubt and fear leads to unbelief. Unbelief, more than any other sin, is targeted towards the very character and integrity of God Himself. It challenges God's promises, His stated purposes, and casts dispersion on His plan for you and all who believe. This is what Satan did in the Garden of God with Adam and Eve. Satan led them to believe God was holding back on them and was untruthful about the consequences if they ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
Enjoy Pastor Stephen Broden, 9:30 a.m. and 9:30 p.m. Sundays on RER Cross, right here on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
One of the premier property management companies in Texas, providing below market rates with above market amenities and service. Hartman has owned and operated commercial office properties since 1983, offering premium office space at an affordable price by saving businesses a significant amount of money by keeping taxes, utilities, and maintenance low. With over 30 years in commercial leasing in Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, we have learned exactly what our customers require.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Managed on Christian principles with a strong dedication to community benevolence. Whether you need 1,000 or 10,000 square foot of office space, Hartman has that space in one of nearly 50 Texas locations.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Energy efficient buildings, customer friendly experts, supporters of conservative causes. A Texas owned and operated business for 30 years. A proud corporate sponsor of RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Visit Hartman online, hi-REIT.com. Call 800-880-2212 or click the ad on RagingElePhantsRadio.com. It's no secret about the censorship that big technology companies are practicing as we speak. Are there ways to get around this? For us at Raging Elephants Radio and for you, the Raging Elephants Radio app is the way to do that. It gives us direct communication to you with no middleman, no Facebook, no Google, no Twitter, Raging Elephants Radio, and you in direct connection, no interception. Beat the censorship. Download the Raging Elephants Radio app.
Numbers equal power. Spread the word about RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Well, when you have an unplanned emergency, it puts a serious crimp in your style. Today's program was already stacked like pancakes, and now it's going to be even more crowded. I've got to talk to Luke Bowen, who's director of the Texas Right to Life PAC. Got to squeeze in Angela the Box That Rocks and the TNT, Tina Moody Bryan. She's going to be talking about one of her favorite subjects, or perhaps her favorite subjects, or maybe her least favorite subject. She just likes to rant on it, and that would be the leftist liberals and their wacky behavior. Ken Paxton was on the Foxes this morning. Maybe you saw it, talking about the Tijuana caravan.
Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton joins us now with more on this. Ken, you just heard the words there of the mayor saying Mexico has to take over. What does happen next?
Well, obviously, I think Mexico made a huge mistake letting these people cross their southern border. They're going to have to deal with that in the future. And now I agree with the mayor of Tijuana. He's got a problem. He's got to expend all these resources that he doesn't have, and there's no time limit on it. So these people are stuck in a really bad situation, and so is the mayor of Tijuana and the people of Tijuana.
What's finally going to give? I mean, the hunger strike, Tijuana is obviously completely strained at this point. I mean, something's got to give, and we're watching this situation just get worse.
I think it's with Mexico. I think he's right. I think the Mexican government needs to step in, and they're the ones that let these people cross the border. Now they're responsible for taking care of them. So I really believe it's up to the Mexican government to step up and take care of these people.
Meanwhile, there is the battle over funding the border wall. That is certainly heating up, and there's a big question whether or not Democrats are going to work with Republicans and the president on this issue. Where do you see that going?
Well, certainly I'm hopeful that they'll work with them. I've been hoping that ever since the election, that finally after this election we could come together and start negotiating some kind of compromise that the Democrats can be happy with and the Republicans be happy with. Obviously, this is an important issue to the border states and to the entire country.
Democrats, would they rather shut down the government than get something done on this issue? That's the big question as we move forward and watch this play out.
I certainly hope that's not true. They have an opportunity here. There's an opportunity as we have a Democratic Congress coming into being. They have an opportunity to step up and work with the president and get something done on this. Otherwise, we all suffer. There's really no point in not trying to negotiate some type of compromise.
And we continue to see these images coming out of there. These ones that are showing on the screen right now, Tijuana, where we just heard Griff Jenkins reporting. The resources there continue to run low. I mean, you've got thousands of migrants crowding that city there. What do you think the American people, their views certainly have been changing on this. And these images, they certainly play out in how you see this whole situation unfolding. What do you think the tolerance of the American people is for this?
Well, look, it's a complicated issue. I feel for these people. I think the mayor of Tijuana hit it on the head when he blamed the organizers for basically using these people as pawns, and so now they're stuck in the middle. And
wait a minute. I don't know why the question. How do you think the American people feel about this? What does Ken Paxton know about the feelings of the American people? How about the people of Texas? How do they feel about this? How long have they been having to endure this? 30 years? Ramped up since even before Bush was president of the United States. I mean, how long are Texans supposed to endure this? I just had to get that in there. I mean, who cares about what the rest of America feels? And as if Ken Paxton knows what the rest of America feels, because election cycle after election cycle, it seems apparent to us here in Texas that folks outside of Texas don't feel the same way we feel. What do you mean? How do you think Americans feel about this, Ken Paxton? I don't know how Americans feel about it because they're so wackadoo. Just look at how they vote. Just look at their representation.
You know, it's a complicated issue. If we allow them in, then it creates an incentive for that to happen over and over again. That's just not the process that our country has set up. And so, you know, I do feel sorry for these people, and I feel sorry for them because of the organizers, and I feel bad that Mexico allowed this to happen.
Are we supposed to feel sorry for these people? Are we supposed to feel are we supposed to feel sorry for them? Because that seems to be the Republican line. It seems to be it always has to be the compassionate conservative. Does it always have to be that way? Democrats don't show any compassion when they're doing property damage. Are we supposed to be compassionate? Be compassionate. You're trying to bust into my house, and you want me to be compassionate. You're trying to bust into my house and steal my stuff, and you want me to be compassionate. Really?
What do you make of the White House response to the current situation?
You know, the responsibility of the president is to protect the border, to secure the border, to make sure that we're not allowing criminals in, that we have legal immigration. I am completely for legal immigration. We need workers in Texas, but it needs to be done the right way, and we have no idea who these people are. The president's claiming that some of them are criminals. We know that we get criminals crossing our border all the time because we keep track of those statistics. So, you know, it's a serious issue that has to be resolved.
Well, he's got a lot on his plate right now, obviously, down in Argentina for the G20 summit, but this is an issue that will be front and center, especially over the funding of the border wall and a potential government shutdown. So we'll see how it all plays out. Ken Paxton, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me on. Have a great day.
This is a really messed up situation. It really, really is. I mean, what's happening as far as governance is concerned in the United States of America? Attorney General of Texas, Ken Paxton, says it's the president's responsibility to take care of the border. Yeah, that is true. That is so very, very true. They say they collect the numbers. They watch these numbers very, very closely. I bet they do, because right here on Raging Elephants Radio, we gave you the published numbers from the Department of Homeland Security. What does it say? It says in fiscal year 2018, 250,000 people were apprehended in Texas who crossed the international border illegally. 250,000 people. I didn't say that includes New Mexico. I didn't say that includes Arizona. California certainly isn't included in those numbers. The 5 border sectors of Texas, the 1,254 miles of border with Mexico. And in a 1-year time frame, 250,000 crossed the border. That's an invasion. And if you take the word, Brandon Judd, National Border Patrol Council, he says it's a 50-50 proposition at best. That if you get 250,000, that means 250,000 got away. They keep up with the numbers, the estimates on the gotaways. That's what Brandon Judd said. I played the audio for you over and over right here on Raging Elephants Radio. This is where you hear it over and over because it's so pertinent. It's so profound. The revelation. Yeah, you may catch 250,000, but 250,000 got away. Are you here to tell me that based on these facts, these fact points, that potentially 500,000 people infiltrated illegally into Texas in FY 2018 from October 1, 2017 to September 30, 2018, 500,000 people. And we wonder why our schools are crowded, and we wonder why our roads are crowded, and we wonder why there is income inequality, because they're driving down wages. They're taking jobs primarily out of the black community, primarily away from our teenagers. How do Americans feel? And they're going on a hunger strike. Oh my goodness. You have to let us in or we're going to starve ourselves to death. Well, I agree with Ken Paxton. Go ahead, starve yourselves to death, and Mexico is in charge of the burials. Unconscionable. I mean, I made this point before. Donald Trump, in his campaign rallies, no matter what race he's campaigning for, he brings it up. We got 700 billion to build up our military. And then we got $716 billion. I mean, I went to government schools, but I think that's $1.416 trillion for national defense. We'll build up our military. They're going to build it up. The Obama administration, I'll never forgive him for depleting our military. We're going to spend $1.416 trillion on rebuilding our military, stronger, bigger, better ever in the history of humanity. And the country is being conquered by illegal invaders that says, if you don't let us in, we're going to starve ourselves to death. Being invaded by toddlers in dirty diapers.
When Andrew Jackson ran for president in 1828, his opponents called him a jackass. Jackson liked the image so much, it became the mascot of the new Democratic Party.
The happiest happy hour on the H-Town West Side. Introducing the Texas Tea Tavern. Texas Tea. The longest happy hour. 12 noon to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday. $3.75 domestic drafts. $8 domestic pitchers. $4 wells. $5 grapies for the ladies. Texas Tea. Texas Tea is the West Side after work chill out place. They have this massive door that opens up to a relaxed lawn and patio. Day or night, this time of year, it's marvelous for sipping and convo. Texas Tea. Video poker tournaments all through the week. Tuesday, Texas Trivia. Wednesday, bring your axe. It's open jam night. Live music every Saturday night on the huge stage. Karaoke Sunday nights. Texas Tea. Mud bugs could be boiling in the outdoor kitchen. If you're hungry, the classy food cart on the newly paved parking lot serves $3 tacos that are big as your head. Texas Tea. A safe place for ladies to venture solo. Open every night until 2 a.m. Texas Tea. Easy to find. 1535 Brickmore, a stone's throw from City Center. You may see me there. Get more info. Click the ad on RagingElephantRadio.com.
Green Air Technology will sanitize, sterilize, and defunkifies your home. Our treatment utilizes a high-output biocleaner to eradicate bacteria, germs, and airborne pathogens and allergens in any home, vehicle, or facility. So if your facility or home smells funky like a bow-legged monkey, call Green Air Technologies. We are dedicated to eliminating odor and airborne contaminants at home, at work, or even in your vehicle.
Now featuring Biosphere.
Call Jim Green at 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com. 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com.
Texas independence. Have you ever thought about it? What exactly does it mean, or is it even possible? Sam Houston said,
Texas will raise her head among the nations.
Was he a dreamer or a prophet? You can get the answers to these questions in the book Lying in the Sand by Daniel Miller. Doc Green says it's required reading for every Texan. Lying in the Sand by Daniel Miller gives you the information you need to be prepared to give an answer to anyone that asks. As a Raging Elephants Radio listener, you are the go-to person for your friends.
RagingElephantsRadio.com.
This book is more than a good read. It will equip you to reach others while pursuing a better future for your family. Get your copy now by clicking on the link on RagingElephantsRadio.com.
RagingElephantsRadio.com.
That's RagingElephantsRadio.com. Since a portion of the proceeds goes to support Raging Elephants Radio, it may be time for you to cross that line in the sand.
RagingElephantsRadio.com.
Here's how to use the RER app on your commute and get the latest Liberty 411. First, download the RER app on your smart device, phone or tablet, Apple or Android. Search Raging Elephants Radio in your App Store or Google Play and hit the search button on your keyboard. Connect your device to your car audio system. Do it via Bluetooth or auxiliary jack. You riding old school? Stick in some quality earbuds and enjoy the serious HD stereo. No excuses. It's here. RER app.
Numbers equal power. Spread the word about RagingElephantsRadio.com.
I'm really excited to have a chance to talk with Luke Bowen. He's the executive of Texas Right to Life's PAC, Political Action Committee. He's going to be on with me in just a few minutes. You know, still doing research on this 2018 midterm election here in Texas because, you know, everybody focuses on what happens in regards to Washington Double City. But the kind of stuff that we do here at Raging Elephants Radio is rarely done. extreme drill down on what's happening in the Lone Star State. Watching this whole G20 thing. I want to do. I'm looking at this whole G20 thing down in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and I'm saying to myself, how many of these countries are smaller than Texas and they're part of the G20? Because I'm looking at this dude, and he's from Rwanda, for crying out loud. FCOL. He's from Rwanda. Wait a minute. Rwanda has a GDP that contributes to 85% of the global economy. Rwanda. I'm saying to myself, now wait a minute. I need to find out who are these other countries, because it's really not 20. It's like 28, 29, something like that. I don't know what their GDPs are, because we know that if Texas, or when Texas, I should say, when Texas becomes an independent sovereign republic once again, okay, we're going to be part of the G8. It's going to be the G8 whether Russia's there or not. It's assured because of the size of the Texas economy. And I want to find out, I'm looking at these G20 people, and I'm like, Rwanda? I mean, it would be great to have some Central African economic development. It would be great if there was less emphasis on trade developments in the Asia region, and more so in South America, Central America, and Central Africa. Seriously. I mean, the Chi-Coms, they're challenging to become the largest economy on the planet, supplanting the United States, and we're just so focused on, we've got to have these great trade relations with these 2 billion people. Hey, start building some chip manufacturing plants, facilities in Rwanda. They got to do something better about governance. We should, brothers and sisters should have like a takeover. Well, not a takeover, but I mean sort of like de facto takeover. Go into Africa and really introduce some serious liberty principles. But I'm sitting there looking at this G20 thing, and I'm like, Rwanda? Rwanda, for crying out loud, is sitting around the table. I'm trying to figure out, what natural resource does Rwanda export to the rest of the planet that we just absolutely have to have? And do not go with the cheap joke, genocide. Don't go there, because we could talk about genocide here, and you know it. That's happening like right now, so don't even go with the genocide joke. But if we're going to be real about it, what is Rwanda doing sitting around the G20? And others. Texas is larger than Turkey. Texas is larger than Russia. Texas is larger than Argentina, the host country. And they're rolling out the red carpet and stuff, and then they're driving up in their heavy metal, Trump in his Cadillac or whatever. What would the president of Texas drive up in? I mean, what would be the president of Texas's beast equivalent? An F-150. It's some sort of F-150. I mean, that's probably in maroon. And everybody, can I get a better amen? Seriously. But Rwanda? Rwanda is at the G20? And I saw some other black faces that were there as well. And I don't know who these people are. And you have to come to the assumption that they're from African countries. I'm like, what are they doing there? I mean, outside of South Africa, what economy on the African continent pushes that kind of economic muscle to be a top 20 economy? I'm just trying to figure that out. And Texas isn't in there, for crying out loud. The G20. I'm telling you, as I am quoted as saying in the book Texted by Daniel Miller, For us to be an independent sovereign republic once again, we'd all be rich. I mean, every single one of us. You want to talk about fighting poverty. You want to talk about shrinking of the poverty line basically down to zero. Let Texas become an independent sovereign republic again. My goodness. The wealth creation in a finger snap. Oh, it would be beautiful. Raging Elephants Radio, this is your Texas network.
When Andrew Jackson ran for president in 1828, his opponents called him a jackass. Jackson liked the image so much, it became the mascot of the new Democratic Party.
Hey, this is Claver. I want to take a few seconds to give you some words of encouragement. Go after the dream. Some of you have embraced the dream of having your own talk show. Congratulations. You've got a lot to say, and you have the confidence to believe you can do a great job. You should start on RagingElephantsRadio.com. Purchasing your own block time is cheap. Yeah, a lot cheaper than your local terrestrial station for sure. And we don't leave you to sink or swim. Consultation on how to get up and running is part of our service to you as an RER independent producer. Shoot me an email, info@RagingElephantsRadio.com. info@RagingElephantsRadio.com. I'll send you a full media kit. Launch that dream right now with RagingElephantsRadio.com.
RER Cross is the Christian programming of RagingElephantsRadio.com. Pastor Edwin Guerra delivers passionate sermons.
And then I'm reminded, God is greater than our feelings. There are times that you don't want to be Jesus to people because you just don't feel worthy. God is greater than how we feel. And that is our hope. We are called to be the hands and feet of Jesus. We are not called to be emotional, up and down, Christianese type of people. We are called to be bold and stand firm on what we believe, even if you don't feel like it.
Enjoy Pastor Edwin Guerra, 8:30 a.m. and 8:30 p.m. Sundays on RER Cross, right here on RagingElephantsRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
One of the premier property management companies in Texas, providing below market rates with above market amenities and service. Hartman has owned and operated commercial office properties since 1983, offering premium office space at an affordable price by saving businesses a significant amount of money by keeping taxes, utilities, and maintenance low. With over 30 years in commercial leasing in Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, we have learned exactly what our customers require.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Managed on Christian principles with a strong dedication to community benevolence. Whether you need 1,000 or 10,000 square foot of office space, Hartman has that space in one of nearly 50 Texas locations.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Energy efficient buildings, customer friendly experts, supporters of conservative causes. A Texas owned and operated business for 30 years. A proud corporate sponsor of RagingElephantsRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Visit Hartman online, hi-REIT.com. Call 800-880-2212 or click the ad on RagingElephantsRadio.com.
Miss Capelli?
Yes, I'd like to be on a commercial.
What will you be advertising?
GoDaddy.com. Oh my gosh. It's a website where you can register .com names for only $7.95 a year.
And what exactly will you be doing on this commercial?
I could do a routine where I went like this.
Oh. Surely by now you must realize that you're upsetting the committee.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset the committee.
May I suggest a turtleneck?
Visit GoDaddy.com through the RER Marketplace.
Listen up, Texans. RER Nation has got to grow. We've got to have those RER app downloads. Android devices. Here's how to share the RER app. Get to your application manager through Settings, tap the RER app logo. There's your Google Play, right? Scroll down, see the share icon, hit it. Choose text or messenger. Pick a couple of Texas patriots. Give a testimony in 160 characters. Send. iOS device folks, do the equivalent through the App Store. Let's get it viral. RER app.
Take us wherever you go. Raging Elephants Radio, streaming on your computer, tablet, and smartphone.
Live video streaming, RER Video YouTube channel. You can also find that YouTube channel, my beautiful face, along with Butch, my sidekick, although he's taking his daily nap right now. RagingElephantsRadio.com is the website. Just scroll down to the right-hand side. In the right column, you'll see right there the little Live Now bug. Click on it, and here it is, that international model face that all of you have come to love. Texas Right to Life Political Action Committee is definitely a political force to be reckoned with. Very influential, and has been so for quite some time. The only statewide pro-life organization that you can really put your trust in these days. That's kind of sad to say, but that is a true reality. And Luke Bowen is the director of the Political Action Committee. His first time on Raging Elephants Radio, I do believe. Luke, how are you, man? Welcome to RER.
I'm good. Thanks for having me on.
And this is your first time, right, on RER?
Yes, sir.
Well, we're glad to have you, man. Of course, we have great admiration for all the work that's done at Texas Right to Life. Let's look at the 2018 midterms, what it means for the pro-life movement here in the Lone Star State. First of all, your first impressions when it comes to the overall results. It wasn't a pretty night for Republicans. Your thoughts, Luke?
Yeah, it wasn't a pretty night for Republicans, but all things considered, I think the Democrats behind closed doors are lamenting that they didn't get more gains than they actually got. I think they expected to get a lot more. We still have pro-life majorities in the Texas House and the Texas Senate, and we're going to have a much better pro-life Speaker of the House. So things here in Texas are good. This in no way compares to the 2010 midterms where Republicans swept. So, yeah, I think the fact that we stopped so much of the so-called blue wave really says a lot. I think overall it's a victory.
I'm calling it a push. More of an interview, sort of a conversation here, Luke. I really want to drill down on some of this. I really call it a push, and you're absolutely right. The 2010 midterm election, the Tea Party election that took the Texas House margin for the GOP from 76 to 74 to 101 supermajority was just astonishing. It was a seminal moment, not just in Texas politics, but across the nation. And certainly on a national scale, I don't think anyone could say that the Democrats, once again, a push, they won the House. But ever since that 2010 midterm election, some phenomenal things have been happening as far as the electorate is concerned and the results and the balance of power in the House of Representatives. And it does have me concerned. I don't want to be Debbie Downer, but it has me concerned. Since 2010, the GOP has lost 17 seats in the House, 12 just this election cycle. And then just for a few months, we enjoy a supermajority in the Senate when we've really worked very hard to get that supermajority in the Senate that really portend some fantastic things. So we can still get things through at 19. But those margins of error, that ability to really flex legislative muscle, to really put pressure on the governor's mansion to get things done, not just on the most important issue, pro-life, but on other things, it has been a huge step backwards since 2010. Just from balance of power and percentages of the electorate. And you're right. The Democrats, they came close, really, to some really serious, doing some really serious damage. Matt Shaheen almost was taken out. Jeff Leach was almost taken out. Jonathan Stickland didn't get to 50%. I don't want to be Debbie Downer, Luke, but looking honestly at the numbers, we really took a hard hit, a hard hit. Your response, please.
Yeah, a lot of the numbers were very surprising. A lot of these seats that we thought were completely safe, like Matt Shaheen, Jonathan Stickland, we thought he would get at least 55. In 2010, the Tea Party movement came about. There's a lot of positive energy. Ever since Trump won election, the Democrats have stated that they want to recreate that. They said it at the outset, right? And they call it the resistance. And they spent 2 years trying to get all of their people just really riled up and angry by calling, Trump racist and he's a fascist and all this stuff. So the fact that they got everybody that mad, anger like that doesn't really last. And so, I think it's incredibly surprising that we, in some of these districts, became so close. I'm not at this point concerned that will translate to, in the future, potentially losing those seats, at least in the immediate future. I don't really know what to say for those races, but we did lose a lot in the Dallas area. We, Lupe Valdez running for governor, she was the sheriff in that county. That drove the turnout a lot. A lot of potential stars like Lisa Luby Ryan, Deanna Metzger, Jonathan Booz. We lost those races. I still think we can get those back.
Yeah, I hope so. Lisa Luby Ryan, that hurt. And Matt Rinaldi losing by 13 points. Now, he's sort of in the heart of Dallas. But I think that goes not necessarily to the work that a Texas Right to Life does, a political action committee, and what you focus on, legislative agenda, and on-campus organizing, training future leaders of the pro-life movement. I really think that weight falls on the party itself, especially at the county level, to be able to recognize that these types of phenomena can happen. Even for the type of tracking that you guys do at Texas Right to Life PAC, did you have any indication that the Democrats were going to have this type of turnout? I mean, is it really a dollar amount type of thing when someone like Abeto is able to, approach $75 million raised to the point that even someone like me is getting campaign literature from him, getting mailers from him, and I haven't voted Democrat since '92. Okay, and I'm getting stuff from him. He had that much money to burn. Is that really the factor? Did you guys see this coming? Should county and state party have seen this coming and direct resources, messaging, and ground game where they should to defend these places? Your thoughts, Luke?
I think lots of blame can be placed on various counties, GOPs. I think a lot of them are in disarray. But that being said, the turnout question is very interesting. Typically, polls have become unreliable, right? You look at polls and say, well, that doesn't mean anything. We had the Donald Trump poll. He was supposed to lose. Interestingly enough, in this election, I think the polls were more reliable than the actual turnout models. So in Dallas County, that was where most of our really important races were. During early voting, we tracked every single person who voted. Every single person, day by day, we got the numbers. We saw this is how many Republicans are showing up. This is how many Democrats are showing up. And there's like a 10% or so unknown, right? And we could even model those. On election day, according to our models, the numbers should have been flipped. Matt Rinaldi should have won by a pretty good margin. Instead, he lost by a pretty good margin. What that indicates is that Republicans turned out to vote for Democrats. And there's really nothing you can do about that. Besides the long-term messaging strategy, which I think the party and the local parties and all of us collectively are responsible for.
Wait a minute. Luke, that is an astonishing piece of news that you're breaking here. From the modeling that you're looking at, from the election results, from what you were tracking as the votes were being cast, first of all, Rinaldi should have won if traditional political science modeling was working. Because a lot of wacky stuff is happening. The polling, the statistics, it's a lot of wacky stuff is happening right now. It's like the compass is spinning. And he was supposed to win. And then on top of that, you guys believe that actually a lot of Republicans actually voted Democrat?
That would either have to be the case or Republicans turned out and maybe voted for Ted Cruz and left, whereas maybe Democrats voted all the way down the ballot, something along those lines.
Okay, so this is what I saw, Luke. And I'll tell you what, I got to take a break, but I want to tell you what my analysis, what I saw as far as the turnout was concerned and how the votes played out. And I want to get your feedback on it, because you may be able to say, no, man, it's bunk because the modeling that I'm looking at says something completely different. But I want to get your thoughts on this. You're the pro on this. I'm talking with Luke Bowen. He's the director of the Texas Right to Life PAC out of San Marcos, is where he's calling in from today on the RR conversation line. Having a lot of fun talking to Luke. And I still got to squeeze in Angela and Tina before this Stacked Like Pancakes program is over. This is Raging Elephants Radio. If you're not listening, you're not learning. Texas talk is all the rage. Nobody does it like we do it 24/7, 365. Texas and all Texas. Be right back. Don't cut the stream. Automobile aficionado, Apostle Claver here. Let me introduce you to my mechanic, an ASC certified mechanic, Andre at America's Repair in Houston. Now, you guys know I'm a former fully sponsored race car driver, and I own a high-performance auto. You bet I'm particular about who even touches my car. I go to America's Repair to get all my auto work done, and you should too. Andre has served Spring Branch and all of Houston for over 20 years. America's Repair will match or beat any competitor's price. All repairs come with a 1-year, 12,000-mile warranty. America's Repair is a complete car care and repair center. State inspection, muffler and exhaust work, wheel alignment, brake work, tune-ups, engine transmission work, auto body and paint. Great deals on oil change and AC checkup. America's Repair accepts all extended warranties. 2005 North Gessner, 1 mile north of Memorial City Mall in the Katy. Wednesday is senior citizen discounts. Thursday, active military discount. Call 713-467-2001. 713-467-2001. AmericasRepair.com. Or click the ad on RagingElephantsRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
One of the premier property management companies in Texas, providing below-market rates with above-market amenities and service. Hartman has owned and operated commercial office properties since 1983, offering premium office space at an affordable price by saving businesses a significant amount of money by keeping taxes, utilities, and maintenance low. With over 30 years in commercial leasing in Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, we have learned exactly what our customers require.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Managed on Christian principles with a strong dedication to community benevolence. Whether you need 1,000 or 10,000 square foot of office space, Hartman has that space in one of nearly 50 Texas locations.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Energy efficient buildings, customer friendly experts, supporters of conservative causes. A Texas owned and operated business for 30 years. A proud corporate sponsor of RagingElephantsRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Visit Hartman online, hi-REIT.com. Call 800-880-2212 or click the ad on RagingElephantsRadio.com.
Hey, Barry the Music Man here for Tejas Smoke Depot. They have everything you need when it comes to smoke. Check out the 150 square foot walk-in humidor filled with a huge selection of fine cigars, or give them a call at 830-990-1472 and order up what you want. Maybe you like to roll your own. They have it. Maybe you need a gift for a smoker in the family. How about a new pipe? They have a large selection, even a cross-section of great beers in stock. In a hurry, come by and use the drive-thru. Located at 1639 West Highway 290 in Fredericksburg, Texas. Out of town? Visit them at the website, TejasSmokeDepot.com, or call 830-990-1472. That's 830-990-1472. It's smoking.
It's no secret about the censorship that big technology companies are practicing as we speak. Are there ways to get around this? For us at Raging Elephants Radio, and for you, the Raging Elephants Radio app is the way to do that. It gives us direct communication to you with no middleman. No Facebook, no Google, no Twitter. Raging Elephants Radio and you in direct connection. No interception. Beat the censorship. Download the Raging Elephants Radio app.
Numbers equal power. Spread the word about RagingElephantsRadio.com.
Hey, don't forget, guys, on Sunday, beginning at 8:30 in the morning, Raging Elephants Radio Cross, some of the best Bible teaching you're going to hear in Texas, right here on your Texas network, RagingElephantsRadio.com. On the RER conversation line, he's director of the Texas Right to Life PAC. He's Luke Bowen calling in from San Marcos today. Luke, we were talking about the turnout and the modeling that you were seeing as voting was going on in early voting and on Election Day. It says something astonishing that what you were seeing in early voting, it should have been a Rinaldi victory. In fact, he loses by a lot. Beto O'Rourke, Robert Francis O'Rourke, if I'm correct, has received more votes than any Democrat ever. And back in 2010, that seminal election, Tea Party election, here in Texas, the Democrats, the number one vote getter was Bill White with 2.11 million. And we saw over 4 million with Beto O'Rourke. That's a 90% increase. Now, at the same time, the Republicans, their total votes from 2010 to this 2018 midterm, it's grown as well. In fact, the total votes cast in Texas elections 2010 to 2018 has grown faster than the rate of population. The more people have moved in. And there wasn't very much of a fall off. This election was really weird because in comparison to 2016, a presidential election cycle with Donald Trump at the top, and that was a strange election too because the number one vote getter was actually Supreme Court Justice Ava Guzman. But if you look at the 2016 election versus the 2018, there wasn't that much of that usual midterm fall off even by the Republicans. So there was energy on both sides. I think the Republican total vote was like less than 200,000 or something. It wasn't the usual 30, 40, 45, 50% drop off in total votes as you usually see a presidential cycle to a midterm. Just astonishing growth on the Democratic side. Now, you guys are saying that a lot of Republicans voted Democrat, but these numbers since 2010, if you're looking at just a little bit longer time frame, has to be troubling. The trend is going in the wrong direction. Luke, did you guys look at those numbers? Were you able to make some conclusions about that?
Well, I mean, that's an interesting question. Going back to HD 15, for instance, I pulled up our numbers. And on the very last day of early voting, we had Matt Rinaldi modeled at 42%, the Democrat modeled at 21%. And then the no primary voters were 36%. And we modeled those guys too, and it was split half and half. And so you get 42% plus half of the remaining to Rinaldi, it puts him up at 58, 59%. So, you know, I was talking to a friend of ours who's a really good political analyst. He goes back to the 70s. He said that this is a black swan type of election. That he has never seen like that big of a swing in not just it would have to be both, right? Republicans choosing to vote Democrat in at least some of the down ballot races, if not all of them, and the amount of voters that have never voted before dramatically swinging one way or the other. Usually, if a district is like 55-45, the amount of new voters showing up, it's going to be about the same, right? Maybe 2 or 3 here or there in the other direction. It would have had to have been a lot more biased toward Democrats to an extent that this guy has never seen. Now, in my notes, on the last Wednesday of early voting, that was Halloween, my notes simply say on Rinaldi's race, it's going to be a win. That's all I have written down. On the last day of early voting, I have a minor note here that says new voters turning out it shot up at the last second, shot up. So, yeah, there was a coordinated effort by the Democrats to register people and to get them to show up at the very last minute. That still in itself wouldn't have been enough to win a lot of these races, or some of them it would be. But on all sides of this, getting Republicans to switch and getting new voters to vote. It was an extreme coordinated effort that, due to the rarity of it, I don't think it can be repeated. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't guard against it and fight against it and try to do that for ourselves.
Talking with Luke Bowen. Luke, the other thing that caught my eye in analyzing this thing, it seemed like it was an absolute coordinated effort. In fact, DFW activist, Raging Elephants Radio contributor Eugene Ralph was talking about this. He recognized this a while back. It seemed that it was a purposed strategy by the Democrats to flood the zone with women candidates. It was unprecedented. They had 60 women on the ballot, 30 that were going against either a Republican incumbent or a seat that was Republican and was vacant. And of the 12 flips, 8 of them were women. The Democratic caucus actually increased its women membership by a third in this election cycle. Democratic women aren't necessarily kind when it comes to the issue of defending the lives of baby Texans. Have you guys been able to make any type of analysis with the 2019 session coming up, how this new balance of power is going to impact just that issue, defending baby lives, the lives of baby Texans, and end-of-life issues?
Right. Well, it would have been great for us to have some of the wins that we had, like Lisa Luby Ryan, of course. She would have been an excellent advocate on the floor of the House for many of these issues. But I think in the past session, the biggest obstacle to passing pro-life legislation was obviously Joe Strauss and Byron Cook. Byron Cook, he chairs the committee that all of our bills went through, and he just killed them. So, removing those obstacles, having Dennis Bonnen as speaker, having Cook out of there, I think Bonnen will appoint some good committee chairs. I think we will be able, despite the Democrats having this new influx of pro-abortion women, especially, it could make the debate even that much more heated and make the Republicans remember where their values lie, right? So I'm pretty optimistic in the next session, especially for passing PRENDA, which is pre-NDA. It's non-discrimination for abortion, making the Democrats, kind of get caught up in the language. They talk about they're the party that supposedly is against discrimination, but we want to introduce a bill that says you can't discriminate on the basis of race or gender or potential disability when it comes to abortion, and that'll be interesting for them to have to defend that.
You are looking for a shakeup on committee composition and committee chairmanships. Dennis Bonnen was Speaker Pro Tem to Joe Strauss. Are you are we looking at a more favorable composition on the Calendars Committee? And of course on State Affairs than what we've seen since 2009, Luke?
I would expect so. Our legislative director, John Seago, could definitely speak better to that. But Byron Cook, being the chair, is out, and so it'll have to be somebody new, and I think anybody would be better than Byron Cook.
So you don't anticipate, you wouldn't look favorably on Todd Hunter once again being appointed as chair of the Calendars Committee, because I know for sure that I wouldn't if I'm going to opine on it. I don't want Todd the Executioner Hunter, the man dressed in black, as Calendars Committee anymore. We really need someone on the other end of the spectrum, if you ask me, someone who is indeed in favor of life, liberty, and prosperity. I would hope Bonnen would shake things up all through the committees. I don't know how many chips that he has to, pay back. I really don't know. But as far as the pro-life situation, that Calendars Committee is going to be critical, Luke. Your last word. I'll let you finish with the last word.
Yeah, well, Bonnen has a reputation for being a bit more staunch in his values. He's much less of a compromiser like Strauss is. He's much less concerned apparently with maintaining power. He is more principled. So I do expect a lot better from him than we had from Joe Strauss, and we're really optimistic.
Thanks a lot, Luke. I really appreciate you coming in and sharing some time, because the work of Texas Right to Life is so absolutely critical. You guys are the preeminent pro-life organization in the state of Texas. Do some fantastic work. We really appreciate what you guys do, and keep up the good work. We share your optimism. It has to be contagious. Still have the balance of power under the Pink Dome. Still have every statewide office, and that's always a good thing for the issue of life. Thanks a lot, Luke, and I'll invite you back really soon.
All right. Thanks so much, Claver.
Texas Right to Life's Luke Bowen heads up their political action committee. Boy, he said some really interesting stuff. My goodness, got to chew on that for more than just a little bit. Thanks a lot to Luke, Amy, and everybody over at Texas Right to Life. We're going to try to either get Jim or Elizabeth Graham in here on next week. I really want to get their points of view. That would be a lot of fun to hear. Don't cut the stream.
What's up, Saints and Patriots? I'm Apostle Claver, a proud Texas nationalist, and I'm here to tell you about Texit. For 25 years, Daniel Miller has been working to see the rebirth of the Republic of Texas. His work has been hard, but his passion is deep. For many Texans, there is a deep yearning, a burning to see the prophecy of Sam Houston come true. But the desire of their hearts comes with many questions. Texit has the answer. It's the new book from Daniel Miller and Defiance Press. Texit, Why and How Texas Will Leave the Union. Texit charts the path to Texas independence. This riveting book of facts and philosophy will soothe your anxiety about the coming change and build your confidence that Texans can get it done. You'll want to buy several copies for your family and friends. Like I've said about this governmental mess, the only way out is out. And the best part of Texit, I'm in it. Texit, Why and How Texas Will Leave the Union. It's selling like hotcakes. Buy it on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Green Air technology will sanitize, sterilize, and defunkifies your home. Our treatment utilizes a high-output biocleaner to eradicate bacteria, germs, and airborne pathogens and allergens in any home, vehicle, or facility. So if your facility or home smells funky like a bow-legged monkey, call Green Air Technologies. We are dedicated to eliminating odor and airborne contaminants at home, at work, or even in your vehicle.
Now featuring Biosphere.
Call Jim Green at 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com. 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com.
Hi there, my name is Mark Cranenberg and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to talk about my favorite order from Chicago Steak Company. It's the Classic Prime Assortment. Alright, well let's open up and have a look what's inside. So right away we've got two 6-ounce filet mignons. If you know anything about steak, it's really rare to see filet mignons with that kind of marbling in it. Just beautiful steak. And then next we've got the two 12-ounce USDA prime strip steaks. Just look at how thick these things are. They're just beautiful. Again, beautifully marbled, amazing steak. Then we've got two USDA prime ribeyes. And if you like steak that is just mouth-watering, this is the steak for you. With all that marbling inside, you'll see it's thicker. The marbling is a lot thicker. That just means more moisture throughout your steak. Now we've got 6 USDA prime top sirloin steaks. These are the steaks that everyone's going to love. Then we're moving into our next package. Next we have 16 4-ounce gourmet Angus steak burgers. These are amazing burgers that everyone's going to love. And to top it all off, they give you one container of my favorite steak seasoning of all time, the Chicago Steak Spice. And you're going to love it too. So there you have the Classic Prime Assortment. My favorite and your ultimate steak experience. So be sure to order your steak today at mychicagosteak.com. I'm Mark. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and we'll see you next time at mychicagosteak.com.
Visit Chicago Steak Company through the RER Marketplace.
Will advertising on Raging Elephants Radio help your business?
Hello, my name is Gail Beatty at Beatty AC and Heating. I advertise on RagingElephantsRadio.com, and I'd urge you to do the same. Small and large business owners, if you want a really affordable way to get your name, products, and services to a large audience of consumers, I'd advertise on RER.
Ask about our double value package. You'll love it. Easy, affordable, effective. Email RERads@RagingElephantsRadio.com. That's RERADS@RagingElephantsRadio.com.
Texas Talk is all the rage. Apostle Claver T. Kamau-Imani on RagingElephantsRadio.com.
Yeah, Luke Bowen said some amazing things. Unbelievable. I mean, newsmaker kind of stuff. They thought Rinaldi was going to win. And of all the flips, all the losses on November 6th, Rinaldi is the one that got stomped the most. 13 plus points. Just absolutely mind-blowing. He's right about this whole Black Swan thing. He said he was talking to, a real expert and said this was a Black Swan election. There is no question about it. But there's a sense out there, and you guys know it, and I know you know it, that the Democrats are on offense and the Republicans are always on defense. It's not even a situation where it seems like it anymore. I mean, you see it for your own, with your own two eyes. You hear it with your own two ears. You know what they're going to say, the Republicans. You know what they're going to say before they even say it. They always have to be the compassionate conservatives. It seems like they're always on the defense. It seems like that's just the natural stance of political parties nationally in the United States. The Democrats are always pressing. The Democrats are always running end arounds and jet sweeps and zone reads and zip routes and corner bombs and onside kicks, and the Republicans are always playing prevent defense. And you know where prevent defense gets you. You lose on the scoreboard. I mean, the Democrats really got aggressive in this campaign. I'm talking about not just in rhetoric. I'm not talking about just property damage, just straight up violent intimidation. And they went well beyond Black Panthers with clubs in front of polling places. I mean, they were trying to break down people's doors of television commentators. I mean, Democrats, that's their history. Some things never change, and it hasn't changed for the jackasses. They're the biggest bullies on the planet. If you want to talk to us about bullying and anti-bullying and the whole 9 yards, they're the biggest bullies on the planet. The left always has been the biggest bullies on the planet in any body politic. But although we can sense the lack of aggression on the part of the Republicans, seem like they suffer from low testosterone and they just don't want to fight. That's it. The Republicans need testosterone therapy. That's what they need. They need some of that eugenics. That's what they need. They need some of that ageless male. No, they need straight testosterone therapy is what they need. That's what they need, because the Democrats are on steroids. Anabolic. But you have to have the metrics. I think this, as far as the election in 2018 is concerned, just demonstrates exactly how aggressive the Democrats are, how determined they were and still are to taking Republican territory, and how the Republicans are not determined whatsoever, that they are willing to settle, that they're not putting the work in, and they're getting their cookies spanked. This is the kind of simple, really simple surface analysis that I'm doing in order to kind of get a picture of why did the Republicans get beat down like they got beat down. I went through the Texas House races, all 150 races. And this whole notion of how heavy they went with women on the Democratic side. And it led me to notice, you just kind of see things, and you just kind of see patterns. And it looked to me like there was a lot of races where the Democrat didn't have any Republican opposition at all. And it looked like that there were very few Republican races where there wasn't Democrat Party opposition. And I said, okay, well, I can't take the word of my naked eye. It's just a matter of counting. And sure enough, just a basic count. I mean, no math needed, just count. Unbelievable. Look, Republicans that did not have a Democrat opponent in the general election. Now, they may have had an independent, a write-in, a libertarian, not really what you would call opposition. Not going to put a dent in their ability to win. But Democrat versus Republican, the two major parties, was there a candidate from both major parties in the race? And as far as the Republicans were concerned, 19 Republicans had no Democratic Party opposition. 19 Republicans had no Democratic Party opposition. 37 Democrats had no Republican opposition. Yes, almost double the number. 19 Republicans got a free ride. 37 Democrats got a free ride. And as you know, the House districts are numbered. And based on the numbers, you can kind of get an idea. They get clustered. And you can see where the Democrats have where the Republicans have absolute no presence whatsoever. Corpus Christi area, out in the El Paso area, down in the Rio Grande, heavy Hispanic areas. They didn't even try. Didn't even try to make a dent. And this is where they say they want to spend all their resources going out and getting Hispanic voters, winning in Hispanic areas, but they're not running against Democrats in those areas. Meanwhile, Democrats are getting a free ride in the Dallas Metroplex area, in the Houston area, where Republicans aren't even filing for those offices. That means if they had no Republican opposition in the general election, that means there was no Republican in the primary. Not even one Republican filed. If just one Republican filed, they would automatically move on to the general election. How do you plan on taking territory? How do you plan on keeping a governing majority, a strong majority, when you're abdicating more than half of the field? I mean, you're losing by default. You're forfeiting before a single vote is cast. Democrats aren't doing that. Democrats are running against Republicans pretty much everywhere. The only place where they basically vacated was up around the Panhandle, North Central Texas, up in that area. They didn't run anybody in that area. But everywhere else, they were going up against Republicans, and in most instances, with women. Black swan election indeed. Be right back.
RER Cross is the Christian programming of RagingElePhantsRadio.com. Pastor Edwin Guerra delivers passionate sermons.
And then I'm reminded, God is greater than our feelings. There are times that you don't want to be Jesus to people because you just don't feel worthy. God is greater than how we feel. And that is our hope. We are called to be the hands and feet of Jesus. We are not called to be emotional, up and down, Christianese type of people. We are called to be bold and stand firm on what we believe, even if you don't feel like it.
Enjoy Pastor Edwin Guerra, 8:30 a.m. and 8:30 p.m. Sundays on RER Cross, right here on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Green Air technology will sanitize, sterilize, and defunkifies your home. Our treatment utilizes a high-output biocleaner to eradicate bacteria, germs, and airborne pathogens and allergens in any home, vehicle, or facility. So if your facility or home smells funky like a bow-legged monkey, call Green Air Technologies. We are dedicated to eliminating odor and airborne contaminants at home, at work, or even in your vehicle.
Now featuring Biosphere.
Call Jim Green at 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com. 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com.
Texas independence. Have you ever thought about it? What exactly does it mean, or is it even possible? Sam Houston said,
Texas will raise her head among the nations.
Was he a dreamer or a prophet? You can get the answers to these questions in the book Lying in the Sand by Daniel Miller. Doc Green says it's required reading for every Texan. Lying in the Sand by Daniel Miller gives you the information you need to be prepared to give an answer to anyone that asks. As a Raging Elephants Radio listener, you are the go-to person for your friends.
RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
This book is more than a good read. It will equip you to reach others while pursuing a better future for your family. Get your copy now by clicking on the link on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
That's RagingElePhantsRadio.com. Since a portion of the proceeds goes to support Raging Elephants Radio, it may be time for you to cross that line in the sand.
That line in the sand. RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Can you do it? The RER 2+2 Challenge. Howdy, rowdy Texans. It's me, E, the millennial voice of RER. I'm a big fan of RagingElePhantsRadio.com. More Texas voters should be listening to RER every day. A better, deeper knowledge of how Texas works will help Texas voters to make Texas more like Texas. The RER 2+2 Challenge. Listen to RER 2 hours a day, every day, for 2 weeks. You'll learn more about Texas politics in 2 weeks than you've ever known. Mark it on your daily calendar. Set your phone alarm. The RER 2+2 Challenge. 2 hours a day, every day, for 2 weeks. RagingElePhantsRadio.com. The rebellious voice of Texas liberty.
Texas-centric radio for Texans in the know. RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
Hey. Friday. It's a thank you, Jesus. It's Friday. Holly and Gloria, their internet was out this morning. Hopefully they were able to get their program down, recorded, and it'll be fresh at 4 p.m. and all during the weekend here on Raging Elephants Radio. The girls from Texas. We've been having our technical issues, but we struggle our way through them, and we keep on trucking. I think it's official. I think it's absolutely, totally official. There is a gender war that is on in the United States of America. And right here, even in Texas, an absolute gender war. Now, men and women aren't necessarily shooting each other as of yet, but it is definitely a political battle that is going on. It's a gender war. Women have decided that they are going after white Republican men. Men, period. They're just going after them. And this election is proof of it. I mean, it's more now than just, I'm a nasty woman. Ooh, with my nasty ways and my nasty sheets, or whatever she said. I've often dreamed about blowing up the White House. Oh, it's gone more than that. It's gone beyond that. It's gone more than the vagina face puppets. It's gone way beyond the pink caps. It's gone way beyond that. They're taking it to the men. 150 races on the ballot for the Texas House of Representatives, 60 women on the ballot. 60 Democratic women on the ballot. 40% of the candidates on the ballot, women, for the Texas House. And 30 Democratic women on the Texas House ballot were going up against GOP incumbent, or a seat that was vacated that used to be Republican. They went after 31% of the seats held by the GOP, just under a third of the seats held by the GOP. Democratic women went after them. I don't have to tell you, the majority, the vast majority of those seats are held by white men. In fact, only 4 Democratic women actually faced a GOP woman for the Texas House of Representatives. 26 opposed GOP men. Well, there was that one black man over there in East Texas, James White. He had a female opponent. There were 12 House flips, 8 of them. The victor was a Democratic woman. And there's actually going to be nine new Democratic women rookies. But that increased their caucus numbers by 1/3. And 41% of the Democratic caucus is going to be women now. 41% of the Democratic caucus is going to be women. I did notice that we're talking about these clusters where the Republicans just forfeited the game before the first vote was even cast, but not winning a candidate in some of these areas, like down in the Valley. I don't know, maybe it's a lot of machismo in the Hispanic area. You don't see, especially down the Rio Grande Valley, there isn't a lot of female representation down there. And for some reason, the Democratic Party ain't messing with the Hispanic men. They didn't put any women up against them. I have to go back and check the primary. But I'm thinking that most of those men down there got no primary challenge at all. Especially not from one of the mamacitas. That's what I'm thinking. And they were unchallenged Hispanic men. Unchallenged. And no women in sight in some of these areas. No women in sight in the Hispanic areas. You got a few, like the pansexual out there in El Paso, and her running buddy out there in El Paso, and then you got Victoria Nieve up there in DFW, the one that got hit with the DUI, just driving along and it slams into a fire hydrant. These women were serious. It's officially a gender war, if you ask me. A straight up gender war. I'll see what Angela the Box That Rocks has to say about it. And the TNT, Tina Moody Bryant, I'll see what she has to say about it. I think politically, we have been, with the whole Me Too movement and all of that, we have been speculating and operating under the assumption there's a gender war. Politically, by these numbers, there is.
TV and radio are great mediums for mass instruction, but for those times when you just want to hold something in your hands, there is the Damn Good Times. I still love the newspaper, but I'm tired of the liberal bias. That's why I reach for the Damn Good Times. Always full of interesting stories and great information, and you can have it delivered to your doorstep by calling 281-332-5710 or sending an email to news@thedamngoodtimes.com. Just $50 a year will get a full subscription. It's a great gift for all the patriots you know. Do it now.
What's up, Saints and Patriots? I'm Apostle Claver, a proud Texas nationalist, and I'm here to tell you about Texit. For 25 years, Daniel Miller has been working to see the rebirth of the Republic of Texas. His work has been hard, but his passion is deep. For many Texans, there is a deep yearning, a burning to see the prophecy of Sam Houston come true. But the desire of their hearts comes with many questions. Texit has the answer. It's the new book from Daniel Miller and Defiance Press. Texit, Why and How Texas Will Leave the Union. Texit charts the path to Texas independence. This riveting book of facts and philosophy will soothe your anxiety about the coming change and build your confidence that Texans can get it done. You'll want to buy several copies for your family and friends. Like I said about this governmental mess, the only way out is out. And the best part of Texit, I'm in it. Texit, why and how Texas will leave the Union. It's selling like hotcakes. Buy it on RagingElePhantsRadio.com. The happiest happy hour on the H-Town West Side. Introducing the Texas Tea Tavern. Texas Tea. The longest happy hour. 12 noon to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday. $3.75 domestic drafts. $8 domestic pitchers. $4 wells. $5 grapies for the ladies. Texas Tea. Texas Tea is the West Side after work chill out place. They have this massive door that opens up to a relaxed lawn and patio. Day or night, this time of year, it's marvelous for sipping and convo. Texas Tea. Video poker tournaments all through the week. Tuesday, Texas Trivia. Wednesday, bring your axe. It's open jam night. Live music every Saturday night on the huge stage. Karaoke Sunday nights. Texas Tea. Mudbugs could be boiling in the outdoor kitchen. If you're hungry, a classy food cart on the newly paved parking lot serves $3 tacos that are big as your head. Texas Tea. A safe place for ladies to venture solo. Open every night until 2 a.m. Texas Tea. Easy to find. 1535 Brickmore, a stone's throw from City Center. You may see me there. Get more info. Click the ad on RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
The battle for liberty rages in every Texas community, none more so than in the nation's fourth largest city, Houston, Texas. A tyrannical mayor denies the right to vote to the citizens of the city, signs executive orders that violate the Texas Constitution and the charter of the city, and issues subpoenas for the sermons of pastors. And when the frontline leaders against the mayor's totalitarian agenda wanted a broadcast partner for their faith, family, and freedom tour, who did they request? RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
There are a lot of great folks that we owe a big debt of gratitude for promoting this issue from day one. I want to recognize my friend Claver and the folks over at Raging Elephants over here. He was on it from day one. Every single week this man talks about this issue. And so thank you, Claver, for never giving in, never backing down, and continuing to be that loud conservative voice.
RagingElePhantsRadio.com, the rebellious voice of Texas liberty.
Information, communication, action. RagingElePhantsRadio.com.
All right, everybody knows her titles, okay? She is the TMB. She is the TNT. She is the hot ticket from behind the pine curtain. Raging Elephants Radio contributor, editor for pop culture, the one, the only, Tina Moody Bryant.
Claver!
Tina! Hey, Tina.
How you doing, Claver?
I'm doing fantastic. It's always a good day when I get a chance to chit-chat with the hot ticket.
I'm telling you, Claver, I feel the same way when I get to hear your lovely voice and we can chat together.
Yeah, your nephew here with 4 legs, Butch, is, I don't know what he's doing. Butch, get over here. What are you doing? Get over here. Everybody can see him on TV now, because I mean on the video stream, because his head is so big. Everybody's watching on video. There he is. Say hi, Butch. There you go. There he is. Look at him.
He's so beautiful and big, and he looks fierce.
He's a cupcake. That's the problem.
Well, as long as he can look the part, Claver, I think you'll be just fine. I wouldn't want to mess with him if I did not know him.
He looks the part. No, actually, he's turned out to be a good watchdog. Tina, why do you keep picking on the liberals? Why do you keep picking on the leftists and the socialists? Okay, where do you find this stuff?
Because they make it so easy, Claver. They make it so easy. I mean, you know, they are what they are. They're just a bunch of leftist, loony, crazy people. They get offended.
They won't leave good enough alone. I mean, now they're messing with Rudolph. Why are they messing with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? I mean, if it's not cotton, if it's not goat yoga, you can't even have cotton balls in your possession anymore. I mean, you can't have cotton bowls, cotton balls, cotton T-shirts, cotton socks, You can't have anything cotton anymore. You can't even say cotton candy anymore. You can't do any of that. And now they're going after Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh, yes. They have multiple problems with Rudolph. I mean, Claver. They even have Facebook closed groups. And the picture on the group is a picture of Rudolph. Get this, I'm telling you. It's a picture of Rudolph with a circle around him and a line drawn through it. They are against, I mean, and what's even more troubling is there's thousands of members to these closed Rudolph hate groups. I'm telling you, they're Rudolph hate groups, Claver. I've never seen anything like it.
Is he supposed to be racist? Is he is it something against? Is he making fun of somebody because he has a red nose? I mean, what's the problem?
Just pick a subject. Okay, for starters, Rudolph is teaching people, okay, how to be bullies, and on many ways. Okay, so like Rudolph's coach, you know, when he said, "Don't let Rudolph play in any reindeer games because of his red nose." Well, that's promoting bullies, don't you know? And they're
the biggest bullies on the planet. They're the biggest bullies on the planet. We can't say this. We can't go anywhere. You can't eat dinner. You can't have a safe home. You can't drive your car. They're the biggest bullies. Certain words you better not say because the hate speech dictionary changes every 24 hours. I mean.
Yep. It's just a continual thing. And then even Santa's a bully. Santa's a bully, don't you know? Because he told Donner, he said, "Donner, don't you care about your kid? Why you let your kid go around with a red nose? The nose has got to be covered up." So Santa's a bully, right? And then Rudolph's little girlfriend, okay. Well, Rudolph's little girlfriend, her daddy is a bigot because he doesn't want her dating and getting all tied up, yes, with Rudolph because Rudolph has a red nose and her daddy doesn't like the red nose. Okay. And then the elves, bring in the elves. Okay. So the elves are in trouble as well because the elves are being picked on because the one elf wants to be a dentist and doesn't want to do the toy thing. Okay. Yes, Claver. And then on top of that, the elf is trying to...
They don't have lives, man. This is a problem. This is a serious social issue. When you have so much time on your hand that you're picking apart Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer down to Donner and Blitzen and Rudolph's girlfriend.
Yep.
I mean, you have serious psychological problems. No wonder you vote Democrat.
Exactly. But Claver, we're not finished yet because, okay, so Rudolph's mama, when Rudolph's daddy Donner, when she wanted to go out and look for Rudolph, you know, he said, no, this is a man's job. Oh my gosh, the feminists went crazy.
Talk about, that is worse than your mama. Oh, this is a man's job.
How dare you say I can't go out and look for Rudolph? I'm a woman, don't you know? I'm all things. I can do everything that you can do and more. Yeah, so they're ticked off at that as well. I mean, there is not one good thing about Rudolph, but you know, and this is how stupid that they truly are. Did they even listen to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer song? Did they even listen to the song? Because it talks about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a very shiny nose. You know, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. All of the other reindeers used to laugh and call him names. They wouldn't let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. But then, Claver, then one foggy Christmas night, Santa came to say, "Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight?" Then all the reindeers loved him, and they shouted out with glee, "Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, you'll go down in history." You know, they forget the whole thing about Rudolph. Rudolph became a big hero. He was a hero to everybody. The toys got delivered. The kids are happy. Rudolph's parents are happy. The coach is happy. All the deers are happy. The only people that aren't happy in this whole thing are the freaking miserable liberals.
The Democrats, the leftists, the socialists, the statists, the legislators of joy. They're unhappy, totally unhappy, because Rudolph, who was once bullied, is now the hero. You cannot have a happy ending on a story like that.
No, not a happy ending the way that we all like happy endings, okay? And here's another thing, too. You know, they're saying that if parents let their kids watch Rudolph, they're causing harm to their children. Now, all of a sudden, I'm serious, Claver. I'm serious. So they're causing harm to their children, you know, because we all know how much the liberals care about children. I mean, after all, they don't see a problem with aborting a baby up to 5 minutes before the baby's born. That's, what about that? Or how about when you have a little, 5-year-old kid that is a boy but thinks he wants to be a girl, pump him full of hormones, because that's not going to cause any damage. I mean, do you see how ridiculous they truly are?
They are. It's a problem.
It really is. You laugh about it, but when you really get down underneath it, it's like I'm saying, Claver, they're never happy. Do you ever see a liberal smile? I mean, they may for a second, but then it's on to something else that they're offended by, ticked off about, something's unfair, something's racist, something's bigoted, something's sexist.
They need massive antidepressants, man. They're always screaming, hollering, complaining, moaning.
Yeah.
Like they all, like they have, upset stomach all the time or something. I don't know. I mean.
Yeah. And they got so much time on their hands because half of them, live in their parents' basement or on the couch or something. So they don't have a job. They don't have anything else to do but look around and find things to be offended about. I mean,
and they have ugly purses and shoes too.
Oh, please, don't even get me started on that. First of all, they need to shave their mustaches, okay? Shave your mustache, ladies, first of all. And then maybe I can help you out with your wardrobe and your shoe selection, for crying out loud. I mean, it is totally asinine. Here we are. It's the Christmas season. We're all, we're decorating our homes. We're listening to Christmas.
Rudolph. All hell Rudolph. Yeah. Oh.
Exactly. We're listening to music. Oh, and Christmas music. Do you know that song about what is it? Where they keep each other warm. Baby, it's cold outside. That's it. Baby, it's cold outside. Oh, Claver, that song. Do you know what that song promotes? Sexual harassment. Do you know why, Claver? Because he's trying to force her to stay, and she doesn't want to stay, Claver. She does not want to stay, but he is trying to force her to stay. He'd say, I'll keep you warm, baby, da-da-da-da-da. A simple, beautiful, great song that talks about, being together, cuddling, whatever, and they have turned that into a sexual harassment song that's probably going to lead to rape. I mean, really. You really can't make this stuff up. They're the most miserable people on the planet. I tell you, and it's Rudolph now. What's it going to be next week? I mean, what's going to be?
I prescribe goat yoga. It's the only solution. Goat yoga. Even Butch knows better. He knows. Goat yoga.
I'm sure that. I say that, but I'm sure that they'll find a way to be offended by the goats. We're probably hurting the goats, jumping around, and the goats having a great time, but they're going to find something. They find something is wrong with anything that brings joy to anybody for any reason, that, they're just always in a state of anger. They're mad, they're miserable, everything is wrong, everything is bad. You can't even enjoy Christmas and Rudolph, for crying out loud.
It's miserable until the government, the government can always fix it. It can become an instrument of joy if the government regulates it, Tina. Don't forget that. You got to have government intervention. If the government is in charge of it, then it's perfect.
That's true. They're just their brain cells are gone, Claver. They're just totally gone. I don't know what to do with them anymore. We just got to pray for them. We got to pray for them, Claver.
I'll try. Love you, Tina.
Love you too, Claver, and goodbye.
Goodbye. We're not done yet. The Box That Rocks is up next.
Stop smoking and enjoy it. Electronic cigarette vaporizers. More than an actual product. This is the name of the company that's going to lead you to a tobacco-free life. Apostle Claver here. ECV is where I went to break my cigar usage. Now I'm a happy vape fan. Vaping, healthy, more socially acceptable. The new cool thing. No one's better in Texas to intro you to the world and tech of vaping than electronic cigarette vaporizers. Bart, Chantal, Max, and Chris will teach you every feature of the dozens of vaping devices to choose from. ECV has a cornucopia of flavors, from fruity to cookies or even tobacco, each made from all natural products. No carcinogens, no smoky smell, and the choice of nicotine levels. Slowly drop your nic level down to 0 and break your tobacco habit with no jitters or stress while enjoying relaxing inhalation. You've been wanting to do it, so do it. Stop smoking and enjoy it. Electronic cigarette vaporizers, 2755 Gessner in Houston. Call 713-939-8273. 713-939-VAPE or see the ad on RagingElephantRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
One of the premier property management companies in Texas, providing below market rates with above market amenities and service. Hartman has owned and operated commercial office properties since 1983, offering premium office space at an affordable price by saving businesses a significant amount of money by keeping taxes, utilities, and maintenance low. With over 30 years in commercial leasing in Houston, San Antonio, and Dallas, we have learned exactly what our customers require.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Managed on Christian principles with a strong dedication to community benevolence. Whether you need 1,000 or 10,000 square foot of office space, Hartman has that space in one of nearly 50 Texas locations.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Energy efficient buildings, customer friendly experts, supporters of conservative causes. A Texas owned and operated business for 30 years. A proud corporate sponsor of RagingElephantRadio.com.
Hartman, the power of proven results.
Visit Hartman online, hi-REIT.com. Call 800-880-2212 or click the ad on RagingElephantRadio.com.
Green Air Technology will sanitize, sterilize, and defunctifies your home. Our treatment utilizes a high-output biocleaner to eradicate bacteria, germs, and airborne pathogens and allergens in any home, vehicle, or facility. So if your facility or home smells funky like a bow-legged monkey, call Green Air Technologies. We are dedicated to eliminating odor and airborne contaminants at home, at work, or even in your vehicle.
Now featuring Biosphere.
Call Jim Green at 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com. 346-254-9217 or go to greenairtech.com.
Here's how to use the RER app on your commute and get the latest Liberty 411. First, download the RER app on your smart device, phone or tablet, Apple or Android. Search Raging Elephants Radio in your App Store or Google Play and hit the search button on your keyboard. Connect your device to your car audio system. Do it via Bluetooth or auxiliary jack. You riding old school? Stick in some quality earbuds and enjoy the serious HD stereo. No excuses. It's here. RER app.
Take us wherever you go. Raging Elephants Radio, streaming on your computer, tablet, and smartphone.
I'm already going through Formula One withdrawals. The season ended last week, and I've got 100 days to wait until the first race. I'm going through withdrawals. Maybe Angela can help me. The Box That Rocks, Angela Box, Foxy Boxy, is on the Raging Elephants Radio conversation line. Angela, what is going on, my lady?
Well, I just had a lovely lunch with a friend who had lots of good advice about things, and now I'm talking to you.
Oh, you're just having a wonderful Friday. You're just all over the place.
Yeah.
Well,
I am. It's kind of a mellow day. I'm going to be doing some hot yoga in a little bit, and could be worse.
Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
You know what? My family, my sister and her family went out of town, so it was just going to be my mom, stepdad, and me. And we decided to do it. We went to Spring Creek Barbecue on Wednesday and did it that day. And so I did not overeat. I was like doing my girl stuff, hanging out on the couch, watching movies on Thanksgiving. And then we went out that night. It was great.
Have you ever been to a place up in Spring called Corkscrew Barbecue?
No.
Okay, so
good?
On Wednesday when you were at Spring Creek, I went to this place called Corkscrew Barbecue. I'd never heard of it before, okay, ever. Get there, and the line is literally outside the building and around the building. Standing in line. After we got our food, we sat down. Lyle Lovett comes walking out, just comes soldering out of the place.
Shut up.
Gets in his car and drives off. Nobody took a picture. Nobody took a video. I guess we were stunned. It was Lyle Lovett. Just come strolling out. That barbecue almost made me faint. That was the best brisket I ever had in my life. I understand why people were waiting outside the building and around the building and into the parking lot. It was a 45-minute wait just in line.
Well, I might suggest that you nominate them for Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
They may have already been on there. They may have already been.
They have?
I don't know. I mean, that popularity and man, that was the best brisket I probably ever had in my life, or at least that I can remember. It was unbelievable. In the heart of Old Town Spring. People can look it up on Yelp or on the website or whatever. I gotta believe that because it was Thanksgiving and there was a whole lot more people out and around. It could probably be a little bit more crowded, but man, I would think Angela. Here are their hours. From 10 a.m. in the morning or 11 a.m. in the morning until the food runs out. That's what's posted. That's what's posted. 11 a.m. until the food runs out, and usually about 4 to 5 in the afternoon, it's gone.
Wow. Well, that's good to know.
We haven't talked about this, but I want to get your response without you having to mull over it, without you having to put your beautiful brain on it. I think it's a legitimate gender war, and I think it's come to the body politique, and I think that this whole women's march thing and the vagina face puppets and all that stuff and the vagina power signs and the little pink hats, they weren't joking around. They were serious.
Oh no!
Check out these numbers right here in Texas. Angela, this is how serious they are about taking power. Here in Texas, in the Texas House of Representatives, in the midterms, there's 150 seats, and every 2 years, every state rep is on the ballot. The Democrats had 60 women on the ballot out of 150. Out of 150 races, 60. And they had 30 women challenging Republicans. 30. 26 of those women were going after Republican men. And of the 12 flips that happened in the midterms, 8 of those were women. They increased their size of the Democratic caucus by a third. They were serious. Where did they get all these women from? 60 of the 150, and they went after a third of the seats the GOP holds. Unbelievable, if you ask me, Angela. You have
to understand that if anyone who pays any attention understands that bean counting is the way of the Democrat Party. So, as we know, they have no platform. It's just hate Trump and, virtue signaling and grievance policy, grievance industry, and that's all they've got. So, if they're like, vote for the woman because, they have no reasoning behind it. They'll say things like, Marcy is for education and Bob isn't, and just platitudes like that. And usually that's what they'll try and flip things on. They'll go with education. They'll go with children and, BS like that. I don't know one man that doesn't want better education for his children. And I'll tell you what, if we could maybe stop funding illegal immigration in the state and in the country, perhaps our schools would exponentially get better over freaking night if we stopped funding illegal immigration on any level. So, when we talk about evil white men and, we cancel white people and cancel Kavanaugh and all of just the most vitriolic things that we've been witnessing over the past few, I mean, certainly since Barack Obama was president, and it's just ratchet since Trump has become president. And I don't see any real solution to it because these people are crazy and they're not reasonable. So they're not. I mean, they're simply not. I mean, I had to put something on my public page today saying I'm not listening to your.
How is it that everybody that I have on, I mean, Tina was just on here, and the people are crazy. They're just crazy. They're just crazy. And then you come on and say, these people are just crazy. That is the ultimate, the absolute ultimate result that you have to come to, the absolute ultimate conclusion you have to come to. They're crazy. They're literally insane, Angela. We're talking about the leftists, the Democrats.
They are literally insane. They have no solutions. When they run on what they really believe in, 37 genders and 14 different bathrooms and illegal immigration is awesome and open borders and let's legalize all drugs and let all the felons out of the prison. When they really run, I'm not talking about legitimate, reform. I'm talking about just, let them out if they're black. I mean, because you're a racist, of course. If they're black, let them out of jail. That kind of crap. I mean, if people were really honest about what they were running on, they'd never get elected to anything except in deep blue pockets. But they're unfortunately for us, and I say this kind of as an alarm call. We saw how the state of Texas is creeping blue. Certainly Dallas, Houston, at the border. I mean, it's no joke, and immigration is the reason for it. And Democrats play long game. Conservatives are intellectual. They're like, we believe these things because these things make sense, and these are common sense solutions. Democrats are pure emotion and vitriol, and they think if we can get enough dumb people to pop out babies, that those babies will eventually vote Democrat because they need their government cheese. And who gives it to them? We do. So, I mean, it's a strategy. It's craven. It's manipulation. But the solution isn't to get in the mud with them and start, pandering and virtue signaling, just as much as Democrats. The solution is to call them for what they are, which are crazy people, and explain that they have no solutions, and common sense solutions are the things that work. And hopefully...
I think a major problem is just the character of the Democratic Party. I mean, the Democrats are always on offense, and the Republicans seem to always be on defense. Always. Not just in rhetoric, but actually what they do on the playing field, what they do in the body politic, what they do on the ground. I mean, just look at these numbers right here, Angela. Republicans, this election cycle, had 19 races where they didn't have any Democratic opposition, didn't have a Democratic opponent. The Democrats had 37, almost double, where the Republicans just forfeited the race, didn't even run anybody, didn't run anybody in the primary. If you just had one person file in the primary, this is a metric of how aggressive the Democrats are, and the Republicans are always on defense in everything they do. Even it seems when it comes to fundraising, they don't have any problems raising money. They always seem to be on the defensive. Their fundraising letters the message seems to be one that's defensive. Your thoughts, Angela?
No, and again, the only who's on the offense is Donald Trump and half the Republicans. So, I mean, normal America loves what Trump does and wishes that he could get some infantry behind him because we got one Patton and then a bunch of pussies behind him. 50% of our party want illegal immigration. That's a problem. So if we can't get our party to even support the leader of our party, it's a problem. I mean, you never have that with Democrats. They are ride or die with any of them. Obama, Hillary, Bill, they are ride or die. And, I'm not saying that we have to check our principles at the door because, again, that's the difference between Republicans and Democrats. We actually believe in things that we hold our leaders accountable for. But there is a notion of, even if you're pissed off about Trump's tweets or whatever, can you support the guy? Because he was elected to build a damn wall, and we want the damn wall built, and we want illegal immigration.
Okay, but what do you think about that, Angela? When you look at you look at the undeniable successes, but yet Nancy Pelosi is going to get the gavel again.
Right. Well, and so I think what happened is a lot of those guys a couple things. The media has been, the drumbeat about how everyone hates Trump and, it's going to be a blue wave. Think about it. Since 2016, they've been talking about a blue wave. So these Republicans who are in these couple districts are like, I'm not dealing with that, and they all quit, not realizing that the power of incumbency, there's no way on earth that the Democrats would have taken back the House had even half of those Republicans not retired. No freaking way. But, because it's an all, midterms, and because the Democrats are so amped up and Trump hatred is so ratcheted up and crazy, they were able to flip him. You have to also look at the voter fraud that the Democrats engaged in with their, quote, late votes and, quote, absentee ballots that suddenly disappear that ended up flipping Orange County from red to blue. I mean, California is finished. Let's just put aside, that they're done. Devin Nunes and Kevin McCarthy probably have maybe one or two more cycles, and they're going to be gone too.
But I want you to finish, Angela, on this idea. Do you think it's a legit gender war? Do you think it's being proven out by what's been done at the ballot box? I mean, what does this portend when it comes to sociology, comes to society, when it comes to relationships between men and women? This also boils down to a specific demographic, the black demographic. Do you know that Abbott actually received 24% of the black men's vote here in Texas? 24% got about 6% of black women. Right?
That's amazing.
Right? I mean,
that's amazing. You have talked about this too, and I'm going to get fucking. Oh, I just got the F-bomb. Sorry, sorry about that. I'm going to get slings and arrows for saying it, but when I was doing a radio show with a black entrepreneur named Sheldon Kitterson, he said, I grew up around black women. They are highly emotional people. And he goes, I'm saying this as a black person. They are highly emotional. And, sometimes you just can't reason. And this is from a black perspective. I don't know if that's your perspective, but that's what he said. I don't know.
And so because they're jacked up emotionally, they have a hard time breaking away off the Democratic Party plantation.
Off the plantation, yeah. So, I hope that Candace Owens and Brexit continues to gain steam. The crap of money that was
there was no Brexit. There was no Brexit because nationally only 8% of blacks voted for GOP candidates.
That's a shame.
That's the shame. The same thing. I mean, it's better than what it was with McCain at 4%, but it's holding steady. That's what Trump got nationally in 2016. So 2 years later, there was no fall off. It held steady nationally. But here locally, Texas-wise, I mean, there's potentially a lot of promise. A lot of promise. I'm just thinking when it comes to gender relations, as tense as they are right now in this whole Me Too movement, et cetera, that when you see this type of political activism, it's being played out at the ballot box. I think there's social implications, sociology implications that we have yet to see. What's being played out
for
here.
Sure.
How is it going to impact the economy, families, schooling, business, government? This insurgence of these fluffy Ocasio types going into the pink dome, it's got to have an impact on multiple issues.
It will. And, when we talk about men and women and, quote, gender roles and how liberals like to pretend like those have been invented somehow. And when you look at the brains of men and women, they are different. Some women are more communicative and emotive, and men are more analytical and, be the breadwinner. And it's not by accident. It's called human genetics and evolution over time. Now, you might have some women that are badass CEOs, and you might have some men that, want to do pottery with their children at home while their wife goes to work. Fine. But for the most people, the traditional gender roles, there's a reason girls like dolls and boys like trucks. I mean, it is what it is. And so I think what's going to be really interesting to see is as more women are foisted upon us in leadership roles, we're going to have a lot of, I predict we're going to see a lot of incompetence on several levels. But we're not, it's kind of like when Obama was president. We're not going to be allowed to talk about it because you're a sexist. So going to be an interesting time. I love being a real girl, and I love real men. That's all I have to say.
Well, we love you being a real girl too, Angela. Thanks for being a real girl.
Yes. All right. Love you, my friend.
Love you, Angela. Talk to you later. Angela, the box
Bye.
that truly rocks. She's awesome. Yes, she's all girl. That's it, Saints and Patriots. Fun program. Sorry about the technical problems at the beginning. I had to call an audible. Everything was cool. Love you guys. See you next week. It's going to be a fantastic weekend. I'm Apostle Claver T. Kamau-Imani, the Christian politician, the ultra-conservative soul brother. My enemies under the pink dome call me the purifier, and I like it. From H-Town, home of the Texans, 8 straight. They play the Browns this week. They better not lose. They better be 9-3 come Monday morning. That's all I gotta say. May the Lord Jesus bless you. May the Lord Jesus bless the future independent sovereign republic of Texas. I can't believe it. Rwanda, part of the G20. Rwanda?